was very conservative. I used to cover my face like this with only my eyes visible when I used to move around.
There have been lots of ups and downs in my educational career. My mother used to have reservations about it.
You are a guy, you can do this, but because she's your sister and she's not allowed to do that.
But on the other side, they were open-minded. They were very fond of me. They would take my opinion. Probably they trusted me more.
So you're not a mother of someone, you're not a wife of someone, you're not a daughter of someone. You have your name. So that's very important.
My father, he wasn't like that when I was a child. Like, we couldn't sit in the front seat of the car with him. Like, you shouldn't see other people.
Father always backed me up, and because of my father's backing, there was a support that was coming up from my mother as well.
He wanted me to be an engineer. He really wanted me to have a good degree and have a good future and career.
It is more difficult for a woman to go out and have a professional life as well as managing a family.
I was never allowed to wear lipstick.
My mother would tell me that this is not right, you should not do this.
We don't want women from our family out on the road. We would make bridges and buildings.
We never saw any films. We never had a VCR or a DVD player at home.
Among their own kids, like if that's a son, they have to send him to some good school, but for the girl, they would say, okay, fine, just send her to any school, which is right next to the house maybe.
It was an amalgamation of all. They were, on one side, they were a bit conservative, but on the other side, they were open-minded.
More than half of the population, they are women. So if you just take that part out, what do you expect? How would your economy would be?
We educate the girls of our society. Whether they get into work, they get into profession or not, they would be productive, they would be constructive towards the society.
Pakistani women are really, they're hard, they're brave, they're strong.
I spent most of my childhood in Peshawar, and I studied in University Model School, which was one of the top schools at that time. I've got 3 kids. Alina is my first child. She's blind, she has cerebral palsy, and she is what they call a severe mental retardation.
I was born in a village, and that's Swabi. I was always very confident, and I knew how to make decisions and how to do things. My mother and my father and my 2 sisters died in a car accident. So then I was left the eldest, and I had 2 younger brothers to look after.
My childhood, most part of my childhood, I was spent in Mandivawadi, central Punjab, northern Punjab actually. My father, he was a principal of a college. He got retired in 2013. My mother, she was a principal too. We are like 3 sisters and a brother, younger brother. He is abroad studying currently.
I actually have to get up early every morning because I have to do my daughter's work, and then I leave for work. When I come back, having spent some time with my daughter, then I go and play squash.
We used to have fights, but now it's like more of so that we get to understand each other more easily. Even if I do not say something, he gets to understand what I'm about to say. So that's actually scary for me as well, that wow, he'll get to know that what I'm going to say. But we've reached that level now.
In Pakistan, the working places are getting more accustomed to taking females, but the families themselves, they are not tuned to send their females.
I don't agree to the Western idea that Pakistan is a conservative country. You're being enlightened and women is being empowered over here. The thinking of the parents and the families, it's changing. They are really keeping their daughters and son equal.
But there are things that where women, they have to step aside for their own safety because of the social and moral values.
The mindset have changed, people have changed. There is no gender biasness now. Gender equality is the word which sounds more in the society now.
My parents, they have a very focused opinion regarding this whole thing, that we are getting you educated not because you have to get a job and get paid. We're getting you educated because there might come a moment in your life when, you know, the times are not as facilitating as they are now.
If Pakistan had been a conservative country, then maybe I would not have been sitting here.
I appreciate that people educate themselves more. Mothers, they push their girls to get education. I am really glad that not the generation that I belong to, but the next generation, they are really appreciative of myself being a working woman, and they do come up, the girls, young girls, and they ask me, you know, how to get more education and get professional.
My father, he wanted me to be an engineer. And I was the eldest in my family, so he really wanted me to have a good degree and have a good future and career.
Whatsoever profession you belong to, you actually have an identity in the society. So you're not a mother of someone, you're not a wife of someone, you're not a daughter of someone, you have your name.
I'm Captain Varda. I am an engineer.
I'm Major Wajiha Arshad. I'm the Grade 2 officer in ISPR.
Captain Sanayaz, Core of EME, Electrical and Mechanical Engineering.
I'm Sub-Lieutenant Aisha. I'm from Education Branch.
I'm Brigadier Nagar Jawhar, Deputy Commander, CMH Rawalpindi.
I'm Major Dr. Sayyida Rifat Naqvi. I'm a colorectal surgeon and I have a special interest in breast surgery as well.
I am an aeronautical engineer. We work on different systems of the aircraft.
The way the army is, they train you as a wholesome package of, you know, a perfectionist.
They don't go for names, they don't go for their genders, they go for the percentages.
You are trained to be more composed, more patient, have a grip over your emotions.
Mentally more prepared towards anything unexpected.
There were various parts of exercises. There were courses, physical, military courses.
We get those bombing missions, and also I find those things interesting.
I was trained how to hold different kinds of guns and rifles and small pistols and all that.
This is a daring course.
It was tough. It was very tough.
You are the force which has to take the guns and move up till your target and invade the place.
On my first mission, I knew I never wanted to go back there. But then being a pilot, serving directly for the country.
What I think is armed forces are the best platform to serve your country.
The incentives were there, the promotions were there, the medals were there, the appreciations were there.
An equal opportunity for everyone. The one who is good excels.
I'm very happy in Army. It gives me pleasure.
Oh, I love it. That's why I chose this profession. I love it.
Ever since I was a child, I used to, watch this Pakistan Day parades. I already had a lot of respect for the institution, but never actually thought of joining. Being part of the setup, it came at a later stage.
I always liked Army a lot. When I was selected, it was a big thing for the whole family. They all were very happy.
Whenever I used to look at the aircrafts passing by, they used to motivate me.
This was the first time that Pakistan Army was taking in ladies. You know, it sounded thrilling to me that it's the first time it is happening, and I wanted to be a part of it.
And few of the young ladies, they come for no other reason but the sari. So this has its own charm.
Our job is basically to make sure that all equipment, whether directly or indirectly involved in the support of the main fighting troops, it's in the right condition.
We make different analysis paper, presentations and researches, and then pass it on to the higher authorities.
We basically deal with the repair and maintenance of the optronics instruments and radars. Along with that, we are responsible for managing the human resource.
We make sure that every system is working fine, and if something goes down, then we take that component out, we repair it in our shop, and then we make it serviceable, and then it is installed in the aircraft.
Well, I visit the ITCs and the ICUs both, so that I know who were the patient who came at night and who are the patient who are gone. Secondly, there are sisters and there are other staff, and they know I'll be coming in the morning. So if they have any problem at night or some equipment is not functioning, so that is where I come in.
If it's an operation day, then I go to the theatre to do surgeries, and if it's an OPD day, then I go to my clinics. I usually perform around, I would say, 10 to 15 at least, 15 surgeries a day.
We are made to go out in the field and see what the real battlefield scenario is. Make maps of the area around us. Then you have to perform certain, operations, small skill, how to, protect the boundary that you're supposed to protect. You develop a quick mind.
We had different aspects of training: military, physical and academic. How you have to live, how you have to eat, how you have to serve your country.
We have our attack demos, defense demos, basic hideouts, like all the basic military training.
It was a very tough routine during the first week. We didn't even have time to even think of our families.
I never had an idea that we'll go for exactly the same training that the males are doing. No relaxation, no gender biasness, nothing. We had a very tough training with them.
It did not only teach me the military culture, but actually taught me how to live a better life, physically, mentally, how to work under stress, how to work being physically more active.
When the ayah comes out of the labor room and tells the parents that it's a girl, the thing starts from there. The culture does not encourage women other than its traditional role of a mother or a sister or a daughter. So to be recognized in a professional role, you have to work, and you have to work double.
I wouldn't compare myself with the male counterparts. I am doing exactly the same job. We are basically doing all the same things that they are doing. We had the same training that they had.
They used to think that I cannot work as much as a man, but when they saw me working, when they saw what I can do, they started adjusting with me and they started accepting me.
We are not here to challenge them. And we have to prove ourselves. You just don't go and make a speech with there and equal rights and everything. You have to prove yourself.
If you work and you prove your worth, then there is no stopping you.
It's all about how you deal with them. It's about your command and control.
Air Force, it treats us in such a way that it has never made us feel that we are in minority or something like that, because we have always been treated equally. I really never get that opportunity to think, for instance, that, oh, I'm different, because I'm always with them, standing right next to them. We run together. We fly together. In formation flying, we've been told that you'll have another pilot on your wing, another aircraft. Then they've never told us that you'll have a woman or a male on your aircraft.
Women in Pakistan, I think they are already empowered. There's a need of enhancement. There's a need of pushing them a little bit more. But they are empowered. When I see, women working in the urban areas, I belong to a village. They make such an important part of our agricultural sector. Yes, she is an empowered woman who is making, small matchboxes. Her matchbox lying everywhere in every house.
People have accepted the female gender over here, and now things are very smooth. And it's just equivalent to any other male boss.
When I joined the Army Medical College, we used to have a class of 100 and only 10 ladies, and they were on merit, and there were 90 boys. But now if you go to the same medical college, the ratio is reversed. You have 90% females and 10% males. Think of all the Islamic states. You think of all the developing countries. This is the only country which has had 2 female general officers. No one else.
I do have a choice, and I chose to live in Pakistan. I want my children to be raised in Pakistan.
It's the easiest to work being a female in Pakistan.
Pakistan is my country. I was born here and I was raised here, and I think there's no match to Pakistan anywhere in the world. The status that I have here, it is because of Pakistan. This is the only country where I want to live.
Service before self and country before everything else. This is my country, this is my place, these are my people.
I've got my roots in here. I cannot leave my country. I would not leave my country.